presidential elections, and then Donald Trump came and he broke down that blue wall, and the Democrats were determined to try to win it back.
Remember, this is a state that Donald Trump won, beat Hillary Clinton, in part because Hillary Clinton didn't visit there. Joe Biden and his team said this is not going to happen this time. In fact, they were going to have the convention there before COVID-19. Adding these 10 electoral votes takes Joe Biden to 248. Remember, the 270 electoral votes, you win the White House. This is going to be challenged by the Trump campaign. This is going to go to a recount. We've already heard that from the campaign itself. Whether they can find the votes to make up the difference, that's why we're calling it. Other places have called it as well.
And we're looking at about a 21,000 vote difference.
And where that vote is as the total vote comes in. There are a number of states, though, as we were just talking about, that fall into this category that are going to be super tight.
And just remind everybody about Wisconsin in 2016 and how, Hillary Clinton, the Democratic nominee, never went
once, and thought that Wisconsin was in the bag for the Democrats. And Donald Trump campaigned there, took that state away. This state, this time, Democrats thought they had locked up. In fact, there was a poll just last week, Washington Post, ABC, that had Biden up 17 points.
Right.
And
that was a real outlier, right? Yeah.
But the point being is that
he looked like he had a lead.
There was confidence in the Democratic corner. Now, Joe Biden does pull out this win, but it is going to be challenged by the Trump campaign.
And then does this well, we're calling it for Joe Biden. So does that here in Wisconsin tell you anything about what might happen in Michigan?
Well, it's a different state and it's a different place where the vote is still out. And Joe Biden is closing there as far as the vote that's coming in the Democratic counties. I think Michigan is going to be very tight, too. The question is whether Joe Biden gets to 270 outside of states that are so tight that they're going to be in the middle of a recall or some legal battle.
Okay, so let's talk about that, because we are waiting because this afternoon, apparently, or sometime today, we will hear from the former Vice President, Joe Biden. He came out last night. It was late, but it was before President Trump to say, everybody have patience, we have confidence. He is scheduled to talk again today. Do you think that, his lawyer earlier today went a step maybe a little bit too far and said, we've won. And I don't necessarily think the former vice president will do that, but maybe he will feel like he's got the wind at his back.
Maybe, but, President Trump did that and was criticized by some of his own allies and Republicans for saying that the race was in the bag for the Trump campaign. I don't know if the former vice president will go down that far, but you're right. Bob Bauer did. His lawyer said, we've won this race. They haven't yet. And there are a number of different possible challenges to these states that are going to possibly draw this out for a number of days.
And then we haven't talked to you about North Carolina. Right before you came on, they were giving a little bit of an update down there. North Carolina has still not been called. She says there's more votes. They want to make sure that they do it right. But people are getting fairly antsy.
It looks like North Carolina is heading towards President Trump's column. Yes. It looks like where the vote is outstanding are positive places for President Trump. So they think that they're going to put that in Trump's column. So what we can definitively say is that we're not going to call the race for presidency today.
Okay.
Because we know for a fact that Nevada is not going to finish their count. We know for a fact we're going to hear from the governor of Pennsylvania tonight.
And then there will be this recount in Wisconsin. How long do you think these recounts would take?
That is a great question. I mean, some places do it better than others. Wisconsin has had recounts before. They've done them before. They have some experience, but it's tedious and there are mistakes and it's a bureaucracy and people challenge things. And on the other side, not just the recount through the electoral board, but you also have the legal challenges that will pop up on different issues.